thinking that everything was over when Ava played just a 10-second recording in a packed Washington courtroom. The color completely drained from everyone's faces because who was the real killer? If you scroll away right now, you are going to miss the most chilling courtroom plot twist in American history. Everyone thought the case was closed. But when a rookie lawyer named Ava played a simple 10-second recording in a packed Washington courtroom, the blood completely drained from everyone's faces, because the real killer was staring right at them. Washington, D.C. Federal Court. It was sentencing day. Elias Thorne, a 28-year-old tech billionaire, was about to be locked away for life without parole. He was accused of brutally murdering his co-founder. The prosecution had his fingerprints on the weapon. They had his financial motives. They had everything. Elias sat at the defense table, his head buried in his hands, completely destroyed. The media had already convicted him. Sitting above the packed, breathless courtroom was Judge Marcus Vance, a ruthless, zero-tolerance legend of the justice system. The prosecution rests, the opposing lawyer smirked, buttoning his expensive suit. Judge Vance grabbed his heavy wooden gavel. "Does the defense have anything else to say before I hand down the maximum sentence?" Ava stood up. She was a 25-year-old junior attorney. Her hands were shaking, but her eyes were ice cold. She didn't have a surprise witness. She didn't have a forged document. She held up a tiny silver USB drive. "Just one final piece of evidence, Your Honor," Ava said, her voice piercing the dead silence. "Exhibit 42. A 10-second audio tape." The prosecutor slammed his hands on the desk. "Objection. This wasn't in discovery. This is a desperate stunt to save a guilty man." "Stop right there. With his fingerprints on the weapon, do you think Elias is actually innocent, or is Ava just pulling a fake stunt? Drop your guess in the comments right now before she hits play." Judge Vance glared down at Ava, his eyes filled with warning. "Counselor, what exactly is on that drive?" Ava stepped right up to the microphone. 10 seconds, Your Honor. 10 seconds that prove the man who committed this murder is currently sitting inside this very room." The courtroom erupted into whispers. Armed guards shifted on their feet. The media leaned over the barricades. Nobody blinked. Nobody breathed. Judge Vance swallowed hard. "Overruled. Play the tape." Ava walked over to the court's audio system. She plugged the drive in. She knew that if this tape was a fake, she would be disbarred and sent to federal prison herself. "Would you have the guts to play this tape in a room full of federal agents? Yes or no? Let me know below." Ava hit play. The courtroom speakers crackled. For the first 3 seconds, it was just the chaotic sound of a struggle. Then the heavy thud of a body hitting the floor. But that wasn't what made the blood freeze in everyone's veins. It was the background noise. Cutting through the audio was a very distinct rhythmic sound. Tick, tick, tick. The heavy, metallic ticking of a vintage gold pocket watch. Then the killer cleared his throat with a very specific raspy double cough and whispered, "Wipe the fingerprints. I'll drop the gavel on him tomorrow." The tape ended. Dead silence fell over the massive courtroom. Every single head slowly turned away from the billionaire. They turned toward the center of the room. They looked up. Judge Marcus Vance was paralyzed. His face was the color of ash. Because right there, resting directly next to his live microphone, was his famous vintage gold pocket watch, echoing the exact same tick-tick-tick through the courtroom speakers. And as the panic set in, the judge tried to speak, but anxiety caught in his throat, and he let out that exact, undeniable raspy double cough. The judge didn't just sentence criminals. He framed them to cover his own tracks. Ava packed her briefcase, looked right into the eyes of the terrified judge and whispered, "The gavel just dropped. Power can rewrite the rules and money can buy the silence of men. But the truth is a shadow. No matter how dark the room gets, the moment you turn on the light, it is always standing right there." If this plot twist gave you chills, you cannot afford to miss my next video. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and I'll see you in the next mystery.